Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Real Talk for Real Teens, hosted by Kim Creighton, or as she's known by the people who know her best, Mama C. The show where we uniquely combine the information teens need with the entertainment teens want.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Real Talk for Real Teens. My name is Kim Creighton. I am your host this evening. And I have a young artist on the show tonight. It is our last Thursday of the month, and as you know, I highlight an artist. And this month it is Diamante. So Diamante, tell everybody about yourself. Hello, Diamante. Oh wow. Hello, Diamante.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. See, that's what happens when you're on live radio. It puts you on hold. All right.
Okay, restart. Hey guys, what's
Yeah.
up? I'm Diamante. I'm a rock singer and songwriter, and I am 16 years old.
Okay. And so, tell us about. Give me more than that. I need a little bit. Give me some more than that.
Okay.
Tell me.
Okay,
Yeah,
sounds
keep
good.
talking. Yeah.
So I was born in California, but I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts. So I'm an East Coaster. Okay. I started out doing musical theater when I was about 10 years old, and that's when I knew I loved to perform and I loved to sing. So about 3 years ago, my entire family packed their bags and we moved out to LA so that I could pursue music as a career. And when I first came out to LA, I was still doing musical theater, and I was meeting with producers, and I ended up making my own originals. And lately, I've been singing live shows with a band, and it's just been super, super fun.
Wow. Okay. So is Diamante your real name or a stage name?
It's my real name. It's Italian and Mexican, and it means diamond.
It's Italian and Mexican? Or, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So one of your parents is Italian and one of your parents is Mexican.
Right.
Ah, gotcha. And it means diamond, you said?
Uh-huh. It means diamond.
All right. So at what, 13, your family packed itself up and decided to head to California.
Yeah, it was a crazy move.
And why was it crazy?
Well, I mean, we always moved around because my parents worked in real estate, but this was like across the country kind of move, and we'd never been to LA before, so it was like almost a dream come true. It was crazy.
Oh wow! Well, that's great. Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I do. I have 2 little brothers and 1 little sister, so I'm the oldest.
Ah, well, that is big.
Uh-huh.
To take not only you, but to uproot the entire family.
Right.
For you to pursue your dream. That's great. That's wonderful.
And my little sister wanted to pursue acting and singing, and my little brother just acting. So it was kind of a family thing.
Well, yeah, you guys are, okay. So it was take the whole clan out there, huh?
Yeah, pretty much, the whole wolf pack.
Exactly. Well, okay, so you said you came out and you were doing musical theater. You're the second artist from the PR firm who started out in the musical theater realm who I've interviewed, and now is focused more on the singing and writing. Well, first of all, do you write your own music?
I do. I write my own lyrics based off of personal experience, and when I have to write the music, I always sit in with my guitarist, and we just kind of work on the track together, and we say what we like and what we don't like.
Okay. So are you enrolled in school, or do you homeschool?
I used to go to public high school, but really recently, as of 2 months, I've been doing an independent studies program where I go in twice a week for an hour, but I have to do all the work at home. And it's a lot easier considering all the things I have to do, on a daily basis that I wasn't able to do when I was in regular high school.
Exactly. You have to be in the classes at so many hours, and when you're able to do that, you have that flexibility to work whenever you want to. If you're in the studio and they're working on something, you can pull up your laptop and get some homework done.
Exactly. It's the best.
Yeah. Yes. And
And
I've
no
said
waking up
that.
early.
Yeah. Oh God, yes. I've said that. High school isn't for everybody. That doesn't mean that I'm against education, because I believe education is ongoing. But that structured setting is not for everybody, and particularly those young people who, for two specific groups of people. There's one group of people who, like you, who really are passionate about something, who really want to do something specific or want to explore something off the beaten path, just doing something, and you need that flexibility to do what you need to do. And the other subset of those young people who really aren't, are those people who've never been empowered by schools, who've never felt success in schools, and to make them continue to be in that situation by law for how many ever years only deepens and worsens their feelings of inadequacy and stuff, and there are other opportunities that they could be taken advantage of, that they could be taken and see some success and feel some success and really see, hey, I'm not a dummy, I can succeed here, and in one arena. School's it's just not for everybody in that environment. Education,
and it's so great because you
different.
can.
Go ahead.
And it's really cool because you can go at your own pace. And you get one-on-one help with the teacher, so you're not sitting in a room full of 20 other kids,
Well, it's not 20 anymore. I mean, the average public school class is like 30, 35 kids. That's a lot of children.
Yeah, even more. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's not, in the college environment, you might have a seminar class with 300 to 500 people, but it's made for it's made for that setting.
Yeah.
It's made for that one-way communication. The professor's not really interested in, feedback. He's giving you the stuff. But in that small environment where your teacher's expected to not only teach you, but to differentiate instruction so that if you learn this way, they're supposed to be doing it this way. And if you learn that way, they're supposed to it's not possible to do that with all those kids in there. And so then everybody.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, so everybody's missing out on something because they can't get everything what they need.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, tell me about, when did you move? You said 3 years ago.
3 years ago, yeah.
And so what changed, what was the decision, what changed in your life to make you decide, hey, the public school system is not going to work for me anymore, I need to go this more independent route?
Well, at first I really was set on still doing public school because even though I was doing music, I still wanted, the regular teenager life. We have friends and you go to parties and you meet people. But then, and at first it was great. Like I could handle both. I was on the cross-country team and everything was manageable. But then as soon as I started getting more busy as time went on, I realized that every time I had a show, I'd have to miss school. And when you miss school, it'd be like, oh, well, why wasn't she here today? And then if you had a test that day, you'd get an automatic 0. So the grades were not that great. So it came to a point where it became too much.
Yeah. And it's great that you had your family support and you have the maturity to say, hey, even though I would love to do these things like go to prom and football games and all these other things, there's some other things that I want to do, and this is and I'm mature enough to handle the fact that I need to step away from this and focus on some other things while I still get my education.
You have to sacrifice things, but that's what you do.
Well, and it's that give and take, It's you actually are seeing what a lot of young people don't see just by virtue of development, and that's just not how the adolescent brain works. But that whole delayed gratification, you know what I'm saying? It's that I'm going to put in some time now, and for this goal I have in mind.
Exactly.
And I think that's where, and you correct. And tell me if I'm right or wrong. A lot of your peers don't have that forward-thinking goal. They don't have that thing out there as concrete as you do, which makes it hard for them to even become serious about the future because the future seems so far away for them.
Yeah, I mean, that's normal, I guess. People don't exactly know what they want to do yet. They didn't have what I had because I knew right away when I was a little girl, like, oh, this is what I want. So it makes it hard for them to relate to you and understand why you choose certain things over others and why this is so important to you.
Yeah. And how has that been for you and your friendships?
It's been tough because, like I said, a lot of people don't really understand what it takes and how much hard work you have to put in and what you have to give up. But then you do have the really good friends who are there for you and they understand and, they root you on and they get that this is what you love to do and it's your passion.
And so you're learning at an early age what a lot of adults have to learn and, about what true friendship is. And it's not based on, because in high school it's based on the group you hang with, the clothes you wear, and all these, that kind of thing. And you're really
the person you're dating.
Exactly. And you're really vetting out very early what true relationships mean for you and how they're supportive for you in the times of good or bad when you really need them.
Yeah, that's what it's all
great.
about.
Great. Well, we're going to take our first break, and I want you to introduce your first song, which is Goodbye, and then we're going to talk about, after you introduce your song, we're going to talk about, your style of music and where you want to go with that, and just really get to know Diamante a little bit better, okay? So I'm going to play the show music. I'm going to play the show break music, and once we finish with that break music, introduce your song, okay?
All right.
All right.
Hey, this is Diamante, and this song is Goodbye.
Oh
Welcome back to Real Talk for Real Teens, hosted by Kim Creighton. To talk live on the air, call 347-539-5226.
Welcome back, guys. We're talking to Diamante tonight, 16-year-old, very talented young lady. As you guys know, I don't listen to music. Yeah, I don't listen to the music beforehand. And one thing I have to say that I'm very impressed with is the level of and we'll get into your type of music, but I just wanted to let you know this. I really am impressed with just not only the level of professionalism of that track, and when I mean that is it sounds like something you hear on the radio, whereas a lot of people your age would just do something that is just the production quality is bad. It's like that sounds like you can easily be picked up, and that's what you were talking about as an example of the things you have to sacrifice to get where you want to go. You can't, when you're trying to put something out there and you're an artist, you have to put your best foot forward. So talk about that process. Talk about your music and I want to know them to really know this, because everybody always wants to be the Diamante when Diamante is already Diamante. They don't care about the process it took to get you there. So talk about your music, and then just talk about some of the things, the challenges, and some of the successes you've had just to become, because it took a lot to get that goodbye to sound the way it does. And people don't get that. They want to, they think, I can go in the studio and do that in one take and I'm good.
No. Okay, well, when I first started off doing my own music here in LA and I was meeting with producers, I wasn't entirely sure what I was or what kind of music I wanted to do. And usually when you come out to LA, the number one genre that people want to put you in is, pop. And so producers were telling me, you should make pop songs and you should go the pop route. And I have nothing against pop. I love pop music, but it just didn't feel right for me. So gradually I would start incorporating my own things. Like I would write my own lyrics, and I would want to be edgier and make my songs more rock sounding.
And the fact that you made that song sounds really cool, and it is rock sounding. So how did you get to that place? Was everybody pushing you to be pop? How at such a young age you were able to say, it doesn't sound like me, and I'm gonna go left when everybody's telling me to go right?
Well, it was a hard transition, but when it came down to it, I knew that I wanted to be what I wanted to be, and that was probably the biggest obstacle I had coming into the music industry, is sticking true to who you are, because when you do that, all your fans and the people who love your music will stick with you. And no one is going to take you seriously if you try to be, the next Taylor Swift or the next Adele or the next Christina Aguilera. What makes you special is your own unique sound, and that's what draws people to you. That's what makes people want to listen to your music.
I love that you just said the truth of who you are. I mean, you are so mature for your age.
Yeah.
Wow. So let's keep going about. You bucked the system and said, hey, I want to be who I am, and my fans are going to love me who I am. So let's talk about the process. So you go into, because again, I want to talk about just what it takes to go from idea or you sitting there writing music to creating something with such quality as the songs that you just played.
Well, I have a certain kind of music that I like listening to. So when I listen to the kind of music, like the rocker stuff, I know, they have live instruments. Because when I was first making my own music or making music with producers, we would use an electronic drum. And I said, hey, maybe if this was a live drum, it would sound so much cooler. And with that idea, that's how I started playing with a live band. And I really wanted to play with a band so that I would be taken more seriously as a rock artist. Because, I could sing edgy songs, but if my tracks went with live instruments, then no one was really going to say, this is genuine rock.
Again, that takes a depth and a level of maturity just to say that. Wow. So I'm really impressed. So what's a typical day like for you when you're making music? Because I really want you to talk about what it's like to actually make music.
Okay. Well, it's a different experience with every song, obviously, because some songs like take not even a day. Everything just falls into place, and it's perfect. It all sounds great. Everyone is agreeing to the same ideas. And then you have the song that takes a little longer because maybe there's some conflicting ideas, or you've hit a roadblock, or you decide to take a break and go on it the next day just to refresh your mind. But usually what I do is I write down lyrics from my song. So only lyrics. I have no music to it whatsoever. And I give it to the producer, and I tell him, I want it to sound like this, and I want this kind of element, and I want it to have this kind of feel. So he'll come up with a concept or a track with drums, and then I'll put in my lyrics, and we'll come up with a melody together. And with that, we'll go into studio, and we'll record the live instruments, like the drums and the guitars and the bass. And then I'll record a raw demo of just my vocals to kind of get a feel for it. And then once you tweak all the perfections and you get the right lyrics and you hit the melody right on, then I do the final vocal, and that's how the song comes to be. And they master it and they fix it, and there it is.
So I want to bring up your next song in a minute, but tell me a little story behind Goodbye. What's the meaning behind that? Where did that come from?
The song behind Goodbye was a guy that I was really into my sophomore year of high school, and he was older. He was graduating, so now I understand why he might have been kind of on the yes today, no tomorrow. Oh, I like you today, but I'm going to ignore you the next. And back then I was younger. I didn't understand. I was like, well, why isn't he talking to me? And I was really hurt. So I wrote this song out of frustration and anger because he left, and I really, really like this guy. But now I see that every time I do go through things like this, it's always to my benefit because it just enables me to write a really good song.
Well, not only that, it's to your benefit because it doesn't matter the fact he's older or not. No one deserves to be jerked around.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the
not
frustrating
cool.
thing about. Not cool at all, you know. No one wants to be, at 16 or 60, no one wants to be jerked around. And,
right.
Yeah, I understand that. And the reason I asked is I know you said earlier that a lot of your songs come from your experiences and the things you've done. And it's nice to hear young people, and that's one of the reasons I do the show, to give young people a voice. And I just love how you musicians have that voice. And I like to hear your stories about how you're just expressing yourselves and getting out your thoughts and really just saying, hey, look at me, this is what I'm feeling, this is my truth, you know. And
that's the whole magic behind music. You get to express everything you're feeling, and people relate to it, and that's how you get fans, and that's why music is such a strong and influential thing.
Oh my God! I mean, you're young, but trust me, when you're like 30 or something, you're gonna sit back, you're gonna hear a song on the radio, and you're gonna remember instantly remember something that a place you were or conversations you were having when that song was playing. It's magical. It's just like, oh my God! I mean, and those emotions come up, just like one of my favorite aunts, she was more like a big sister to me. When she made her transition, they played Boys to Men, Mama, at the funeral. And so every time I hear that song, no matter where I am, you know, I could be in a meeting and somebody, and that just comes up, and it's just like I have to stop hold that tears back because it instantly takes me back there.
That's what music does.
Yeah, exactly. It's just an instant, you get in a time warp and you go right back to where that was, or when you were in love and you guys heard that song for the first time and you were holding hands and it kissed you for the first time and you remember that song and then it comes on. Yeah, it's just all those things.
Always.
Music is meditation for me. You can always tell my mood based on what kind of music I listen to. Because I have a very
exactly.
Unlike a lot of people,
it's so therapeutic.
I listen to a lot of things. Yes, I listen to so many different things. I go from listening to Zen music, just quiet songs, soundscapes, some hip hop,
totally,
some of everything, just all kinds of stuff, and you can really tell my mood based on what I'm listening to.
Right? It's so funny because my parents, my mom especially, because I literally sing in my room for 3 hours every day, because that's how I just get out everything I'm feeling. She'll walk by and it's like, oh, well, you are kind of happy today, depending on what songs I'm singing.
Exactly. All right, we're going to take our next break, and you're going to introduce your next song, which is Panic.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Diamante, and this is my single, Panic.
That look in your eyes, something I don't recognize, like an abandoned house. It's like you left without a sound. Every little lie takes us closer to goodbye. One leg of peace in the night. Tell me, can you feel us suffocating, drowning in the space that we're creating? I just can't seem to take it anymore. Louder than the silence we're making, circling the train, and I can't shake the fear to fight anymore. Gotta get us out of here. The walls are closing in, but please don't panic, 'cause I'll keep you with me. This is an emergency. We can stop the world if we don't panic, 'cause tonight we're worth fighting for. Are we lost in time? Is the fire left to die? I can't turn back now, but if we're lost, we'll soon be found. Don't apologize. The road is long and we've got hope if we just breathe inside. Tell me, can you feel us suffocating, drowning in the space that we're creating? I just can't seem to take it anymore. Louder than the silence we're making, circling the train, and I can't shake the fear to fight anymore. Gotta get us out of here. The walls are closing in, but please don't panic, 'cause I'll keep you with me. This is an emergency. We can stop the world if we don't panic, 'cause tonight we're worth fighting for. I can see it going down now. Never gonna let you drown now. I don't ever wanna see us fight for the goal. Oh, no. I can see it going down now. Never gonna let you drown now. I don't ever wanna see us fight for the goal. Gotta get us out of here. The walls are closing in, but please don't panic, 'cause I'll keep you with me. This is an emergency. We can stop the world if we don't panic, 'cause tonight we're worth fighting for.
on Facebook at Real Talk for Real Teens and on Twitter at RTFRT Radio.
All right, welcome back, guys. I have Diamante, and we just heard her song, Panic. So tell us a little bit about Panic.
Okay, so Panic was one of those songs that actually came before Goodbye, and I co-wrote it with another writer. And at first, this was a song that took a while because the concept was completely flipped over. At first, I thought it was going to be a song about, panicking because, you don't want to lose the guy. And then he was like, well, what if we make it don't panic and you want to save what you have? Because the song is about having something really great with someone and you just don't want to let it go to waste and you want to keep fighting for it because you know that it's worth fighting for.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's interesting of how you had one idea and in the collaborative process you moved to the total opposite spectrum, but you kept the same context. Yeah, exactly, a panic. Wow, that's great. So to give us, tell us what are it. Let me put it this way: if with no limitations, money isn't the issue, time isn't the issue. What is your big idea? Your big goal? What is your big dream? What does Diamante of all this stuff you're sacrificing, all this stuff you're putting on hold, all this? What is that thing you're doing it for? What? What is that thing you're doing all this for?
My ultimate dream is to go on a worldwide tour, completely everywhere, like sold out shows in Europe, Asia, just all over the globe, because that is honestly, I think, what I'm living up to do. That's what I'm sacrificing my entire kind of adolescence for, and that's what I've been working so hard to aspire to be.
So you like the live as opposed to the studio? You like being on stage?
I love both, but I just think there's something so magical about being on a stage, and I love to travel on top of that, so it's like the best of everything.
The best of both worlds. Well, tell us what, for those who've never been on stage, tell us what that's like.
Well, being on stage for me, ever since I was a little girl, was always kind of like a home. All my life, I've always kind of felt not really like I belonged anywhere truly. I kind of felt like an outcast because I was introverted and I liked more of the things that other kids weren't so into. And when I'm up on a stage, that's when I feel like, oh my gosh, this is where I'm supposed to be, and I can make people happy, and I have a purpose, and this is my calling. This was what I was meant to do.
Wow, that's interesting because I was reading something about the 25 attributes of introvert, and it's so funny because people who see you and I, because we're we put on that stage thing, they don't think we're introverts. And I tell people all the time that I'm an introvert. I prefer my own company.
Right.
I get totally exhausted. I've learned to be, outgoing, particularly because I was the only child for so long. But I do it because it was, a matter of survival. You had to make friends. And also we moved a lot. So, you had to make friends over and over again. But I get so exhausted being out in public and around people that I need to, sometimes literally take 2 or 3 days just to be by myself. Just to get my energy back.
I do the same thing.
That. Yeah, people don't understand that. And it's just because we do find we are comfortable in that environment. That's when we, are like doing this show and talking to young people, whatever. That's where my passion is. That's what I'm great at.
Right. And I think solitude is actually super healthy.
That doesn't,
That solitude is really healthy.
Oh, my God, yes. It is so necessary. I could not be one of those people who are on 24 hours a day, who's always just on. I would lose my mind. I would lose my mind.
So you're crazy.
People just don't get it. Yeah, people don't get it. They're like, you're an introvert? No, you're not. You're so loud. Yeah, I've always been loud. That doesn't mean I'm not an introvert.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about that, because you were talking about that, being that outcast. I know what that feels like. You always felt like a square peg being forced into a round hole and just didn't fit. So tell me about that and being a young person how have you adapted? How does that, besides being on stage, because that's where, you say you find your home, when you're not able to be on stage, how do you manage that? How do you feel?
Well, when I was little, it was a lot harder because it wasn't even necessarily hard. It's just I preferred staying in my room and writing songs and making music while other kids were outside playing soccer on a field. It was what I was into. So the way I dealt with that growing up was I met people who liked the same things as me. Like, I connect better with introverts, and I connect with people who like to reevaluate themselves, or people who are into music, not even music, people who just are dedicated to a certain thing or have a passion. And when I'm with people who are like that, that's when I feel like, oh, I'm not the only one. I'm not crazy then.
Oh, yeah, it's a great feeling when you realize, oh, it's not just me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great feeling when you just, oh, I'm not the only one. There are other people out here doing the same thing. And you guys are so much more, I don't want to say lucky, but at an advantage because of the Internet and because of you can be connected and still be, you can easily connect to those people who are like you. For me, before the Internet, if it wasn't in your immediate surrounding, if it wasn't, if you didn't find people who were like you in your immediate surrounding, that was just it. Because I remember running, because of Facebook, reconnecting with old classmates, and one of my old classmates from 8th grade, he was like, we all thought you were just really cute, but you were just weird. And I was like, to me, I wasn't weird. I just didn't find the things that you were talking about and doing interesting. So I was, what was the point? But it wasn't that I was weird. Yeah. And so for me, if there were not other quote unquote weird people around me, I was always, by myself. I would, when necessary, shift, become very uncomfortable just to be in a part of the group. Because sometimes it was like painfully uncomfortable just to, kind of insinuate myself in, because they weren't very welcoming. So just to be a part of the group, we as introverts have to, we have to force ourselves to, okay, let's get over this. Let's swallow this and just go in. It's like battle, And and there's so many young people, so many people out there who are like that.
Everyone's into their own thing.
Yeah, and you guys, with the advent of just how connected you are, you can start your own communities with people who, there are people out there who just love frogs, and they find other people who just love frogs.
Honestly, people, they're just interests, and people don't always have the most common interests, but they have them.
Exactly. And like I said, now you can Google anything and find a group of people who like the same goofy things you like.
Yeah, that's totally true.
And be connected to the world. So you had, quote unquote, school today because you stay at home. So what was your day like today? What did you do for school?
Actually, I didn't have school today because I only have it twice a week on Mondays and Wednesdays. But today I did have a vocal lesson.
Hold on, I have to stop right there because I know there are people who are envious right now. They're going to go home and say, hey, Mom, I want to
do that kind of program.
Yeah, oh, wow. So you have school on Mondays and Wednesdays, and how many hours do you do school?
Only
technically,
one.
Because I know you can get up in the middle of the night and do school, but how often?
Oh, you only go into the actual location for just 1 hour to do testing.
Oh, wow, okay. And you do that twice a week?
Yeah, and everything else is completely on your own. And it's a lot of work. Like, I still have to do 2 packets. It's crazy.
And so you had a vocal lesson. How long was that lesson?
It's really fun. He works with me whenever I have to do live videos or before I have shows coming up. And we were doing these covers of old rock songs. Like, we tried You Give Love a Bad Name by Bon Jovi and Heartbreaker by Pat Benatar. And they're super fun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Wow, okay. So, you have a concert, you have something coming up. Is that what you're preparing for?
Yeah, I do. I'm playing at the Avalon here in Hollywood on September 7th. And on October 20th, I'm playing at El Rey Theater, which I'm really excited about because I've never played there before.
And where is that? Is that also in Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how are these clubs or actual theaters?
They're both. I play clubs on the Sunset Strip here in Hollywood, like the Roxy and the Whiskey and the Key Club, which are super cool because it's an awesome scene. And back then, they used to be legendary places. They still are.
Exactly.
But back then,
Exactly.
Labels would go there, and people like rock legends, like so many names, used to play there. And I also do theaters, like the Avalon and El Rey are both actual theaters. And they're like huge stages, and they're so much fun.
So who has to go with you because you're not 21?
My mom, she's my manager, so I call her my momager.
So your mom goes to these things. I'm like, wait a minute, you're not 21. How are you getting in these clubs to play?
Yeah, and I have to wear this wristband saying that I'm a minor.
Exactly, that you cannot go to the bar and get something to drink. And
No.
So, how did you meet your bandmates? Or do they just come in the studio, or are you guys a set band now?
We rehearse once a week at a locked place, a lockdown rehearsal studio in downtown Los Angeles. And for like once a week, every Thursday night, 3 hours, we just rehearse, especially when I have shows coming up, so we're always, on point whenever we do perform.
And so how did your band come together?
Oh, how did we come together? When I was working with one of the first producers when I came out here, one of the people who was working on the song, so a session worker who was guitars for the track, came up to me after I had released the song. Well, not came up to me, but he sent me a message on Facebook and said, hey, I'm the guy who did the guitars for that track, and it came out really good. If you ever need a guitar player, hit me up because I play shows and blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, cool. So then when I decided to do a live band, I was like, well, how smart would it be to use the guy who actually wrote the guitars for my songs?
Yeah, okay.
And so he knew a bass player and a drummer, and then they kind of just formed that way.
And now, are they adults or are they young people as well?
They're adults. They're like in their 30s, I believe.
Oh, wow, that's funny.
Yeah, like my older brothers.
Exactly. I'm sure they keep an eye on you.
Oh, yeah.
So, I know you were crushing on a guy at school last year. So are you seeing anybody now, or is there somebody you're interested in?
Yeah, I am seeing someone, but not officially. It's just a person that I met last year playing at the Warped Tour.
Mhm.
And we just randomly ran into each other on the street like 3 months ago. And he's like, hey, didn't you play Warped Tour with me last summer? And I was like, oh, yeah, that was you. And so we've just been hanging out since then.
Oh, cool. And so he's a musician as well.
Yeah. So he gets it.
Well, that's cool. You have somebody. Yeah, exactly. You got somebody who understands your schedule and all that other stuff. So, will you, being that you do school on your own, do you get to graduate early?
It depends, because you get to go at your own pace. So if I wanted to, which I'm trying to do actually, I'm trying to graduate earlier so that I can enroll in this music college here in Hollywood that I really want to go to. And I think that maybe by the end of this year I should be graduating, or even halfway.
Oh, wow. So what's the college, and why do you want to go there?
Musicians Institute. And because the guy I'm seeing, he goes there, and he introduced me to all his friends, and I asked around, and I said, is it a cool place? And they said, oh, yeah, it's the best. Like, it's all music. But I also want to study music business, not just the vocal program, because I want to know, the ropes of music industry, and I want to not get screwed over when I'm older.
I'm so happy you said that because I try to tell people all the time it isn't the music business for a reason. It's called business for a reason. And if you don't know the business,
yes.
Exactly, you can be taken advantage of so easily just because that's the nature of, that's just the history of that business. And also it's about knowing, just how you are, just by being an artist, you are an entrepreneur. So you need to know the business of being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
It's not just going in the studios and doing that, or get somebody giving you money to make a video or whatever. You need to know where their money's going, what their money's for, who you need to pay.
Right.
I mean, you hear so many stories of people having these entourages and all. They have no idea
exactly
who they're paying, how they're paying it. They're buying cars.
Yeah.
And
I want to know more about licensing and distribution. So when I make my own, like when I'm making my own stuff, I know how many percentages or how it should be split up or how it should get sent out.
Well, that's great. As I said, I am so impressed. So impressed
Thanks.
with your parents. I say I'm so impressed with what they've done for you. So I'm sure you're also a great role model for your siblings who also are in the various businesses of entertainment.
Yeah.
And are they also being homeschooled?
My little brothers go to regular high school. No, not high school, sorry, middle school. And my little sister used to go to regular middle school, but this year she's starting the same program as me because she's going to be auditioning a lot, and I don't think she's going to have the same kind of problem I had, yeah.
Yeah, she needs that flexibility, I understand. Well, like I said, I'm just so impressed with you. It's just like I love hearing young people, because I hear so many people talk about how, this generation ain't, well, they've been saying that for every generation. This generation sucks or whatever. And I love young people who are, and it's not about having it all figured out, because that's not what it is, but I like the fact that you're reflective, you're interested in something, you're passionate about something. You realize that it takes work and effort to get there. It's not going to be handed to you. All those different, and you collaborate. You like you said about the song, you came in one way and went out the other way because you listened to, you collaborated with somebody. All these skills are paramount in just life, period. And to see them in someone so young is refreshing. And I always, when I see it, I always make sure I let that young person know that they're doing, you're developing the skills that you need to be an effective adult. Because for me, people who know me, I really don't care about math, social science, even social studies and all that. Let those people teach that. But I care about really young people really developing and being able to make a successful transition from adolescence to adulthood. Really being able to step into adulthood, as you said, with knowing your truth, or even at least starting to ask the questions about what I prefer and what I like and what I will and will not do. And so many young people aren't doing that, and that one of the reasons they're not doing it because no one's asking them to do it. And so,
that's so true.
I really appreciate. I mean, how many of your friends have people who are asking, questions beyond what do you want to do in college or whatever, questions of, so that's what you want to do. What do you think you need to do to make that happen? What do you need to be doing now to make that happen? No one's asking them those questions, so they don't think about things. And so, as I said, I'd love to just shout out to those young people who I see doing great things, and you are definitely one, and I'm so proud of you. So what would you like to say before we leave and you introduce your last song? What would you like to say?
I would just like to say thank you to all the listeners. Thank you to you for having me on this show. I have a lot of social media sites that I could give out for people to follow, and I have announcements. Okay, so my name is Diamante. That's Diamante. My Twitter is @DiamanteBand. My Facebook is Diamante Official Music. My website is diamanteofficialmusic.com. And my Vivo channel is Diamante Official Vivo. It's a lot, but if you go on the website, you can find all the links to everything because it's all connected over there.
And so spell your name one more time.
Diamante, as in dog, IAMANTE.
All right, guys. Listen out. This Diamante is gonna be the I can't even say it. You know me. It's gonna be the shit. So I'm so happy that I met you. And so we're gonna close out the show with Diamante. She's gonna introduce her last song, and you guys have a wonderful evening.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Diamante, and this is my single, Impossible.
We need you for the show. If you'd like your own mini concert, please send a request for information to realtalkforrealteens@gmail.com. Thank you for listening, and please join us each and every Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern for more Real Talk for Real Teens.